Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is what I feel when.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and privilege to have a special guest here for the Train of Positivity Virtual Summit. This gentleman's name is Mr. Christian Perry, and I got to be honest, we don't know each other that well, but the world of positivity, the world of gratitude, and the world of social media actually had me bug this gentleman after I heard him on a podcast. I thought his story was insane and incredible. All the changes this gentleman is going through and all the love he's putting back into the world. Christian, thank you so much for your time and taking a second to be part of the virtual summit.
Oh, yeah, man, Phil, listen, I am stoked to be here. I'm glad that our paths cross. My good brother, the executive director of Forever You, Ryan Heslaw, is doing great work with the Recalibrate podcast. I'm a board member at Forever You. We've been friends since college, and just to see the platform that he's created that allows people like us, right, who are crazy about gratitude, crazy about positivity, connect. I'm so grateful.
Ryan has been doing so much, and that podcast is a great thing. So for those of you who don't know Christian, it's like a long menu of things he's done and experiences. So Christian, I'm going to name a few. Your father, almost going to be a husband here any day now. A sailor. Are you currently a sailor or are you former Navy?
Still a sailor, 4 years on active duty. I celebrate 12 years in December. Yeah, I'm in the reserves.
You are the CEO of what was called Grind Grately. Love to hear a little bit more about that. You've gone from coach to the service, community organizer. You're a man that's incredible energy. Could you tell us a little bit about where you're at right now in your life?
I'm grateful that I get to celebrate birthday number 30 here, and just obviously reflecting right on that milestone and where I've been. And where I find myself currently is working in a role. I work in state government in my 9 to 5, and I'm doing work geared toward criminal justice reform. And I'm doing it for the entire state of Illinois. So just, for me, just digesting that right now, right?
Yeah.
Kid who went to 4 high schools in 4 years, didn't walk across the stage, 1.8 GPA, is now in charge of helping people better understand how to administer justice for the 5th largest state in the country. A testament to what commitment will do, a testament to what favor will do, right? God, the universe, however you see fit to identify, guiding my steps as I just stay faithful. Full-time father to my beautiful baby boy. His name is Michael. He's 8 years old. He'll be 9 in December. And then outside of that, I have a few different hats, right? So you kind of met me and engaged with me through Grind Greatly. Another shameless plug is my personal development and gratitude integration company. We help people level up their attitudinal fitness so that they can live their most emotionally prosperous lives. When I was at a very low point in my mid-20s, and I began to engage with therapy, began to open up my mind and what wellness looked like for a human being, I stumbled upon the deep study and the deep psychology that's already been done on gratitude. So 5-6 books in, Dr. Robert Emmons, Amy Strong, you end up learning things, and now it's like, well, shoot, I got to share this stuff. So that's my small business. And then I also have a civic engagement arm, just in the reality of what's been going on in the world. The work that I do does not allow me to step outside of the fact that I'm a Black man living in this country, right? So how do we empower Black and brown people to control the narrative? And then also, how do we empower non-Black and brown peoples, right, to get into that fight and encourage those to advocate for equity? Black Millennial Renaissance is the name of that. And then I serve on a bunch of boards. I'm president of my alumni board from my alma mater. I serve on Forever You's board with Ryan, and I also serve on a board geared toward mental health and substance abuse. But it's just all about me trying to figure out how to best give my gift away.
It's no shock when you go through that. When someone follows you on Instagram through the Grind Greatly handle, I think your daily, stories and posts are all about gratitude, giving back, supporting those who aren't getting the proper support. And that, I think you eat, breathe, and live all of your passions. And it shows. You have a busy day every day, obviously, but everything you're doing seems to be going towards the things that are important to you and those passions. As soon as you signed up for the Train of Positivity Summit, you said, I'd love to talk about overcoming imposter syndrome. Could you kind of talk about what that is a little bit and how you've worked with and through that? And if there's any advice at all you'd like to share about that for personal growth, I think would be such a great thing coming from you. You've lived all these different changes.
That's a phenomenal question, and I deal with it sometimes daily. Imposter syndrome is another fancy way of talking about that nagging small voice in the back of your head, deep down in the recesses of your mind, that tries to convince you that you're not good enough. And the question becomes, where does that voice come from? It could be rooted in childhood trauma, things that you were told inside the home. It could be things that you were told in school. But all of these negative experiences, and on top of our own shortcomings, right? It's easier for us to remember the bad things that happen to us versus, all the W's that we might experience on our journey. Talking about a kid, man, who high school was, oh my gosh, like I have no desire to go back because of my not understanding that I was battling depression at that time. I didn't fit anywhere. That my mom had to come out of pocket $600 for me to take a math course in 2 weeks so that they would mail me my diploma. And then he tells you something you don't want to hear and says, hey, I'm going to the Navy. I'm getting out of here. You don't want to hear it. My mom didn't want to hear that. She's like, what? But it was the best thing I ever could have done. And I'm the genius that goes to the Navy not knowing how to swim. And once again, that, dang, are you good enough to do this? But you overcome it. Then I overcome that. And then I tell people my story. By the time I was 21, I was divorced, filed bankruptcy, and a young father. I find myself in 2013 applying to college and get accepted on probation. And that's when things really started to change for me. And I just became a doer. As time progressed and people responded to me a certain kind of way, and I saw a need for people, and my heart did not allow me to turn away from the need that I saw, I became this person, the iterations of this person that you see sitting in front of you. Is when I'm not taking care of my mental health and I'm in a room with the governor, the lieutenant governor, and mayors of large cities, and I get to look around the room and I'm like, man, do I belong here? Right? When I'm leading a march of Black, brown, white, yellow people, 500 people in a town that, that kind of thing isn't normal. It's like, man, these 500 people are following me. The way imposter syndrome shows up is that when I'm experiencing some W's and some wins, that nagging voice comes back and it's like, Christian, are you good enough? And part of grinding greatly is working through that, putting pen to paper, reminding yourself and keeping things around you that affirm who you really are.
If someone listening right now is thinking, man, I'm in a position where, like you said, I've got the W, I'm where I want to be, I'm at the top of my game, and I feel like I'm almost faking it to make it right now. I'm not sure if I really belong here. What is something that you could tell them or share or suggest to them? Okay.
So the first thing that you can do on your own, there's a pastor that I follow. He's really dynamic, and he talks about 2 gaps. He talks about the growth gap, which is easy for us to see, especially if you're experiencing W's. Like growth gap, like I can see where I need to go. That makes sense, and I can goal set and plan for that, and I can grind and work hard. The other gap that he talks about, we forget about, is the gratitude gap. And the gratitude gap causes you to look back and think about, man, where have I come from? If you really start to think about all those tough things that you've overcome, it's really hard to think lowly of yourself. So that's something that you can do on your own, and I recommend doing that with a gratitude journal. So that's one thing you can do to kind of combat those feelings of, am I good enough? The second thing I would say is you need help. And my beautiful fiance and my son and my mother and my grandmother and my siblings help me with this. They tell me how proud of me they are. Lean on the people around you who know you and allow those words to hit your ears and believe them. So those are the 2 things that I would say. Lean on your support system to affirm you, but then also dig into some gratitude.
This doesn't even scratch the surface of the Christian Perry. I know that, and we are, of course, short on time, but if people want to hear more about you, your story, connect with you, network, be inspired by you, how could someone reach you and reach out to you?
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely say at Grind Greatly on Instagram. The Facebook page and stuff is still under the revamp. Grindgreatly.com is the handle. That's also under a revamp, and that's Grind Greatly, Grate. It's a play on words, LY. So you can find me there. But then also, I tell people, we live in a social media world. Follow me on Facebook. At Christian D. Perry. If you reach out to me on Facebook, I'm probably going to respond to you. Instagram, Grind Greatly, Facebook, Christian Perry. And then, I would love to connect, talk life, gas you up and tell you how dope you are.
Oh, Christian, this has been just a blessing to me just to get this energy bump tonight. But to everybody listening, I'm sure they're feeling the same exact way. So first of all, thank you for your time. Second of all, thank you for your story and your suggestions about overcoming imposter syndrome, building yourself up, surrounding you with good people.
Absolutely. Looking forward to everything, all the goodness you guys are going to bring people with this. This is huge.
Thanks so much for joining us for the Train to Positivity Virtual Summit. We hope you choose to have a great day. Please be sure to check out other positive influencers throughout the summit. And if you enjoyed this specific talk, feel free to like and subscribe and share with other positive humans through your favorite social media outlets using the hashtag #TrainOfPositivity.